Indian Army is developing a messaging app called as SAI, and it is also known as Secure Application for Internet. It is supposed to be an end-to-end secure voice, text, and a video calling service for Android platform, and it will be used pan Army to facilitate secure messaging within the service. And this SAI is supposed to be vetted by the CERT, and I think Army Cyber Group is also has given a go ahead, but let's see how much can it work, and will give support to the Indian Army. US has successfully test fired its unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile, and this missile was launched from California, and it crashed into the sea near the Marshall Islands after traveling about 6,700 kilometers. Just imagine the range, 6,700 kilometers. This missile has been basically the part of the nuclear arsenal for over 50 years with US. India has conducted the longest range BrahMos strike mission. This is basically a strike mission of the BrahMos, how far it can go, not the missile per se, but the entire strike mission. I think a Sukhoi 30 Mark I, that is Mark India, took off from, if I am not wrong, in Halwara Air Base from Punjab, and it was refueled mid-air somewhere in between, and thereafter it struck a ship which is 4,000 kilometers away in the Indian Ocean. So that means to say any aircraft has carrying a BrahMos now can take off from its own base across the country and hit targets as far as 4,000 kilometers. So this should give us a substantial boost, and it has also tested our capabilities in case there is a two-front war. In case we it also demonstrates as to how far can we go towards the China or towards the Pakistan. The maritime self-defense force of the Japan, Australian Navy, and Indian Navy, including US, had conducted its routine exercise from 3rd to 6th of November 2020. This is called as Malabar exercise, which is a yearly exercise, and this brings more jointmanship between all the participating nations. Putin has very categorically said that in case the clashes of Armenia and Azerbaijan reach its territory, then Russia will intervene and will help Armenia in clear-cut terms. This is still a simmering issue. There are a lot of ifs and buts going around, both sides blaming each other, the world countries taking sides. Let's see what the outcome is for this. Hello friends, my name is Raju Notes, and if you are fresh to my channel, please do subscribe it. Stay updated, because I make a current affairs and SMT video like this every 15 days. This time I am making it a day later, but this will help you. In case if you have not watched my previous videos, do watch it, because in case if you are attempting this examination, do watch it from the sequence. Whenever you get a free time, just put your earpods on and just listen to it. I make these videos suitable for the mobile, so that you can use it, see it anytime. Even if you don't see it, even if you hear it, the topic stays in your mind. So do listen to it, and also pass it on to your friends and probably juniors. Okay. The 49 countries of the world have joined US, and all these have plans to put out China from this race of 5G sector, telecom. US has already placed sanctions on companies like Huawei, and because they directly feel that Huawei is the directly aiding the Chinese Communist Party and poses the national security risk for all. Terrorists keeps killing. Terrorists keep dying every day in Valley. Not a great thing, but Indian Army has been doing a wonderful job this time. You can expect a question, or maybe something can be figured out, as the army used to be the forefront in eliminating the terrorists, but nowadays if you see that the CRPF, the JNK police, the ITBP, BSF have been taking over in this operations, and rather their presence or footfall is seen in these operations. Now the question which can be framed is, what is this trend, or what has happened as to, or why is this happening, that the army is taking a back step and allowing the paramilitary forces and the local police to take over such operations. So that can be you can probably think on these lines and keep working off on inputs received on this. The story here is that the Hizbul Mujahideen chief Saifullah Mir, he was shot down in encounter, and probably he was evading the security forces for a long time, and now with him gone, the Hizbul Mujahideen is almost like a skeleton now, hardly any strong presence now. India has successfully test fired the advanced variant of Pinaka rocket systems. This was developed by DRDO. Here they have what they have done is they have increased the range of this rockets, and at the same time they have reduced the length of the rocket compared to the previous one. So probably the portability, the storage capacity, the handling things would change. The second batch of 3 Rafales arrived from France directly, flying non-stop like what did in the first one, and but this time they landed in Jamnagar instead of Ambala, and now we have total of 8, and we will get more, and the production should also start. A German footwear company, which in one of my previous thing I said that the companies are moving out of China and they're planning to come and set up in India, and I talked about one shoe company, and this is exactly that same company, a brand called as Von Velix. It started its production, and so this is not in words, it is actually happening on ground. This company has already started producing its footwear in Agra, so it is a good sign for us for attracting the foreign investments into the country. China has begun work on the Shushan Tibet railway, which is very close to Arunachal, and this is to probably now the readers or listeners should think as to the duality of the Chinese thought process. The one at one side they keep criticizing India for maintaining the infrastructure, building roads, and construction of any kind of a rail link towards the border Arunachal, but whereas they can do it, if they do it, it is for their security, and if we do it, it is there we are infringing into their security. So this thing should be kept in mind. And yeah, this line is close to Arunachal, but also you should be aware that the line from Tejpur to Bhalupong to probably towards Bomdila and up I think it is Tawang. I think that line is on. Indian Railways are already on working on this line. If that is the case, then it will be a substantial boost for our troops who will be going northeast. So yes, China is probably much ahead of us, but we are slowly but certainly picking up. You should be aware that such a rail line is existing, or rather a work is on, and if I am not mistaken, the rail line at this place has I think reached up to Bhalupong. That is basically the foothills of the Arunachal Pradesh, and thereafter I think the process is in hand. General Rawat, the CDS has said that if such kind of provocations keep happening, it is possible that there a larger conflict might be in offing, and he says that we are ready for the two-front war. One is with east and one is with the west. Let's see. Over all these tensions and simmering and all other things, General Naravne was conferred the honorary rank of General of Nepali Army. It is a tradition between both countries, and our Chief of Army Staff was conferred with this rank in Kathmandu, and it was being done by the President of Nepal, that is Baidya Devi Bandari, and hopefully with all this stress also things get to be okay. There was an oil well at Baghjan in Assam which was burning well over 150 days, and probably this becomes the largest oil that is gas oil well which was on fire. It was put off, yes, I think day before yesterday, that is if I'm not wrong, on 16th or so. So total in info that this blowout was off for more than 150 days and 3 people died in the same. ISRO had launched an Earth observation satellite and 9 other satellites on board PSLV C-49. Remember this, PSLV C-49 was the one which was the last which ISRO has launched. Many of the satellites, and it was launched from the Sriharikota, which is in the state of Andhra Pradesh, from Satish Dhawan Space Center. Ethiopia is presently on a brink of civil war after its Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordered military offensive following attack on the army base in Tigray. And we just hope that it doesn't go into a civil war, because everything, after all, everything spirals out. Let's hope that things will get better. India is being helping Nepal despite its Nepal's anti-India stand by the Oli government, and this time we had given about 28 ICU ventilators to Nepal, and the Nepali minister acknowledged, saying that despite having troubled relations in the past, India is still helping Nepal, which is a very good thing. India's first drone pilot training program has been announced, and it will be undertaken at the Institute Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Udan Academy, and which the campus is in Amethi, and hopefully that now the drone pilots will be under some kind of a check or stroke, or some kind of a certification before they can fly. And the UK CDS has made a statement that his country, by quarter of his army could be made up of robots or mechanical machine soldiers by 2030. 2030 is not far off, it's just in 2020 is 10 years henceforth. But point to understand is that armies, the thought process, the armies are getting obsolete. The technological warfare, the hybrid warfare is in. So in case there is a question on hybrid warfare, the futuristic warfare, you should be aware that one country is already planning to have quarter of its army as a robot army. And an SMT point I had described, we had seen in my last videos that there were some kind of a skins, artificial skins, which were being made, and this was basically to develop help the soldiers or the other people who needed medical attention. But now they have said that they have made a e-skin that has a capability to heal itself. So see the amount of possibilities what it makes for a probably a soldier or someone who has lost his hand, leg, whatever it is, or basically the skin. This device is slightly thicker than a band-aid, and it is recyclable, and it can fit to any shape and anywhere on the body. Again, UK military chief says that presently the global uncertainty would risk the World War III. See, we are may not be a great thing, but to talk about. But please do understand that when top shots give such statements, it has got some undercurrents to it. Now, World War III is not a normal thing, but if UK has started thinking on these lines, then we should be a preview to such things, that yes, in case if at all there is World War III, how will the world divide its power into that bipolar, as to which will be two sides, or multipolar, unipolar. That kind of thought process should be on. Indian government has changed the Ministry of Shipping, and it has renamed its name, Ministry of Shipping, as Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. You should be aware that the Namami Gange project and all that inland waterways from it has been developed as a mode of transport in the country. US has removed the East Turkestan Islamic Movement (ETIM) from its terror list. ETIM was basically in a terror list of US, but it has removed it, citing that there is no credible evidence in the group. And however, China has taken a very strong objection to it, because China says that this is the terrorist organization which keeps attacking on its borders. So, an important development. Let's see how the new Biden government takes a call on this. India and Maldives signed four memorandum of understandings during the foreign secretaries' visits, and they basically, these projects are of over $100 million for the grant of connectivity, and we have been going very liberal with Maldives, and we are helping them in whatever way possible, as what we discussed previously also. China keeps threatening or issuing instructions to China, US, saying that it should stop elevating relations with Taiwan. They say Taiwan is mine, but the way China is handling Hong Kong and Taiwan, is going on a path to disaster. This topic we had already said last time, that US is planning to sell 50 of the F-35 jets, and UAV is also ready for this. But what is in store for us is that how will this change the military socio scenario in the Middle East. Now don't forget, if UAE gets this kind of weaponry, now what will be the reaction of Israel? The So that will be a big question, irrespective whether UAE is taking it against Iran. That is okay, but on the larger picture, if these things are seen, how will Israel see to this threat? India has gifted about 20 military horses and 10 mine detection dogs to Bangladesh to strengthen their bilateral ties. And these equines and canines were trained by the Remount and Veterinary Corps of the Indian Army, and it was handed over at the Binapol integrated check post. Hope Bangladesh puts it to good use. While addressing the 17th ASEAN Indian Summit, PM Narendra Modi emphasized that there should be an enhanced connectivity between India and the other countries, and he has cited that physical, emotional, and social, digital, financial, maritime areas should be in focus. That is some thinking. Russia has said that it is strong on its promise to deliver the S-400 systems to India. This is the anti-missile defense systems which India is procuring. Yes, America was against this deal. They had Trump administration has said that if this deal goes to, there will be a lot of sanctions, or they'll come heavily onto India. Despite that, India was onto it. Now Russia has reiterated that it will work very hard onto this deal and give as much early as possible of this weapon system. The ISIS has claimed responsibility for a blast at cemetery in Saudi Arabia. A small incident if you look at it, but a very big statement here. This is a first of its kind of attack in Saudi. It's predominantly a Muslim country. ISIS now coming into Saudi. Now Saudi becoming the target of the Islamic State. So all this is adding up to the turmoil in the Middle East. And if you see the next thing is also, the shots were fired at the Saudi embassy in Netherlands. So Saudi is being slowly targeted now by the ISIS or radical Islamist groups, probably because the Saudi is pro Western leaning. So maybe that is the reason why it is being used. And in a shocking revelation, UN agency says that Iran has a uranium stockpile 12 times more than the limit set in the nuclear deal. That means Iran must be preparing, or must be making, or already must be in possession of the nuclear missiles, and UN has said so. But if you see, the UN is slowly losing its power or the hold on the countries. And US wants China of more sanction in case it is putting more of the sanctions on the Hong Kong's autonomy. But let's say who wins. Both sides are trying hard. India successfully test fired the QRSAM, which is called as Quick Reaction Surface to Air Missile System, at ITR, that is interim test ranges at Chandipur, Orissa. and the missile was fired onto a pilotless target. Probably it can be a meat, BPTA, or heat, and one of these things could have been hit. And this if this goes through well, then probably the army procures it, and then it will be a part of the army air defense. Suki, after winning her elections in Myanmar, was congratulated by PM Modi. It is essential for us that we maintain good relations with our neighbors, and Myanmar does have a very important role as far as our maritime lines are concerned. And China at the same time is holding meets with Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh on COVID-19 response. The topic subject is COVID-19, but be rest assured that this is nothing to do with COVID. It is more of pumping in money, making them slaves to that debt, what they say, and then once these countries can't pay, then China will show its actual colors and probably take on something. The recent Shanghai Cooperation Movement, wherever Pakistan gets an international forum, it doesn't fail to take India's name and starts creating something, and it gets India, Pakistan, and basically the Kashmir issue into it. This time the PM took a very strong note to it, and when the Pakistan tried using the same form, this time Modi gave a very strong rebuttal to it, and it was noted by the chairman of SCO, that Putin, who was taking the matters, and he had issued a statement after that such things will not be entertained in future. And like I was talking, during the 75th session of the UN General Assembly, which is also called as UNGA, India said that the Security Council has become an impaired organ, and it says because it is unable to act with credibility, essentially due to its unrepresentative nature, because there are handful of countries who don't want India to proceed, and they have stopped the intra-governmental negotiations from progressing. So it has become actually speaking, what he said is impaired organ. Let's hope that some more countries come into it, else we can all see there is a doom for UN very soon. In a latest revelations, it seems that the Trump had asked for options on attacking Iran's main nuclear reactor site, which never took off. Probably his advisors gave him advices not to go ahead, because it will lead to further escalation in during this COVID times. So, but such things do happen in the background. So we need to add all these puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. So that's it, friends. I am a day plus late in uploading this video. I apologize for that, but do watch all my videos right from start. Trust me, if you watch all my videos right from the start, you will not miss the entire year. And since each video I give out one odd a thinker type of a question which can come, so I am sure that in whatever you are studying for the current affairs and SMT, something will 100%ly, at least current affair part, I am sure that one of my thought process or the questions which I am probably thinking might figure out. So that's it, friends. Stay tuned, stay in touch, and if you have really some suggestions, do tell me. And again, be at it, don't let it go. You are on a right path. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye bye.